Hello. Today I'm going to be sharing a method you can use to synthesize realistic siren sounds. I'll start by taking a listen to a reference recording. So the sound you're hearing here is the sound of a police siren you'd hear in the UK. Within this sound, you can hear two types of siren sound. So this first one is this sort of long, stretched out, slowly changing note. This one's called a wail. There's also this sound over here where it changes a bit faster. That's called a yelp. To start with, I'm going to try and replicate the wail. Let's open up Phase Plant. I'm going to add a wavetable oscillator. Now we'll want to figure out what kind of frequency content we want the oscillator to have. To do that, I'd first select part of the siren sound. Then I'll open the spectrum window. Now we're able to tell what harmonic content is needed. This tallest peak at the start is our fundamental frequency. So that means we should set the first partial to -24 decibels. Let's go into the wavetable editor. Click this button for direct harmonic editing. And we'll set this to about -22. Then the next two should be about -40, then -50, then -60, and so on. So I'll draw those in. So that's starting with about -40, then -50, then -60. Beyond this point, we don't need to be so precise. So I'll just draw a line that fades out. Then we can normalize the frame peak to make this a more usable volume. Now we need to make sure that the frequency of the wavetable is correct for the siren. Because I don't want it to track the pitch of the keyboard, I'm going to set harmonic to 0. Then we need to find the pitch that the siren plays at. We first need to select the start of the siren. And we can see here that's about 970 Hertz. That means we can set the shift here to 970. Now if we play a key, it will be at 970 Hertz. We now want to select the point in the audio where it reaches the very highest pitch, and that is about here. This is about 1630 Hertz. Next, I will add a curve. We need to set this curve to modulate the shift, and we'll type in here 1630. Now if we press a key, it will go between the two pitches, but not at the right rhythm yet. Now we need to edit the curve so that it correctly matches how the siren changes pitch over time. First, we'll want to know how long it needs to be. So to do that, we'll select one whole cycle. This gives us a time of around 4.8 seconds. For about the first 2.3 seconds, it rises up in pitch. So we can open this, go to about 2.3 seconds. Then based on how the curve looks in RX, we're going to make the curve look a bit more like this. Then we'll set the curve to loop and have a listen. Now it's sounding a bit more realistic. Now what I want to do is set up a macro so that we can control whether we want it to be playing the wail sound or the yelp sound. I'll first make a remap module. Then I'll edit this, so it is a square shape like this. I'm going to click positive only here. I'm going to assign the macro to this remap. Now what I want this to do when it's high is it needs to reduce the duration of this curve. So let's go over to the yelp sound here. It's much harder to tell exactly how long it should last with this one because it's not very visually clear, but I make it to be about 0.3 seconds. That means we need to click this plus, right click where it says 4.8 seconds, and here we'll type in 0.3 seconds. Now I'm going to hold the note and then I'll increase the macro while holding the note. I'll rename the macro to wail/yelp. I'm now going to use a free plugin called Place It to make this sound a lot more realistic. I've set the speaker setting to announcement speaker and the space to far, and I've increased the mix all the way up for both. And now we have quite a realistic siren sound. Thanks for watching.